Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cosplayers Paradigm. It has been a fun start to the year so far, and I have to say, with more endeavors to come, we're going to close out this year on hopefully a spectacular note. With me today, I have Sabrina, which definitely made an impression to the point where you're going to want to keep an eye on this person for their cosplays. How are we doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good? So let's go ahead and start off with who you are as in a cosplayer and how did you get into cosplay?
Um, I'm still a beginner in cosplaying, very new to it. But I have always really loved dressing up. It definitely started as a kid. I always wanted to be this or I wanted to be that, and it just kind of like Halloween was always my favorite holiday because I got to dress up and be different characters, and it was always so exciting to like be all these different characters. And it just kind of like, as I grew up, I learned about cosplaying, and I was like, people dress up outside of Halloween? Sign me up. I was so excited, and it just spiraled. It just snowballed right into getting to like, oh, my first ever cosplay, I think Itachi from Naruto
Okay.
or Naruto. Some people pronounce it differently. And I was scared to wear contacts, but I still had the headband. I wore that at school all the time. And my mom got me the cloak and I just wore it to the con, and I was so nervous because I'd never dressed up before. And just seeing all the different costumes, I was just like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
It is definitely an experience to behold. If you haven't yet experienced a con, choose a small one, a large one, whatever you're comfortable with, and it's definitely worth it. You should put it on your bucket list.
For sure. I definitely recommend, if especially if you're new to it and you're not sure and you're very hesitant, very small cons are great for beginners because there's a lot, but it's not overwhelming. And you
Very
can
true.
see it all in like a little bit of time. So you're like not overwhelmed. And smaller communities that I've personally found are just very, very welcoming to new cosplayers because they're not competitive. They're just kind of like, we're all just kind of doing our thing. And they're super, super friendly to new people. And I've always had very positive experiences with cosplayers who are like, oh my god, your costume looks so good. You look so amazing. And it just brings that like pride that you're like, yeah, I did this.
It is definitely well worth it. Getting those compliments from people, it's addictive. But the good part is it's addictive in a good way, you know?
Nothing when I like dress up like fairies, that's one of my favorite things to dress up as is like fairies or fae. I think the thing that like lights me up the most is like when little kids come up and give me a hug and they're like and they want to take pictures with me and they're like, "You're so pretty. You're so pretty." It just like it just makes my entire day. And it's I think it's because like kids, like people compliment you and you know that sometimes they're just doing it to be nice, but kids will never lie to you. They don't have a reason to lie to you. So when they're like, "Oh my god, you're so pretty," you know it's from like genuine. And you're just like, "Yeah."
I couldn't agree more. But of course, sometimes they can be a little too brutally honest too.
Yeah. Yeah, they can. You're like, "Thanks for pointing out that one insecurity I felt really insecure about today." How did
Yep.
it's like they know.
Yeah, my favorite has been, kid comes up and looks at me and goes, "You're fat.
No.
I like your cosplay," and then runs off. You know,
Yep.
I get it. I am not going to go ahead and deny it, but the way he said it was just priceless.
That like
Just
deadpan.
yep, just that. Yep. But hey, it is what it is, and we live in a world where we accept each other in the cosplay community at least. So I welcome it every time I go.
And that's another thing that I just love about the cosplay community is like even if you don't know what their cosplaying is, there's like a certain level of like admiration and respect for somebody who put in this time and effort, even if they didn't make it. They still put in the financial effort to like put put themselves out there, and that can be so scary. And just like, so they did this, and there's like a certain level of respect that we all like understand with each other, and like an admiration from people who are still beginning to people who are like have been doing this for years and years, that like, I understand that you put a lot of effort into this, whether it was financial or physical. You still put in the time and effort, and you still went out there and said, this is me. Well, this is not me, but this is who I want to be. This is my character today. This is who I am today. And I just think that's like really lovely, and it's so inspiring to new cosplayers to be like, I can do that. And it's really important that we, as like people who have done this for a long time, to give new cosplayers that feeling that like, I can do that too. I can do that. I can be that too. Even competitions, like, it should be friendly, very friendly community that's just like, this might not be you this year, but it could be you next year. It could be you the year after. Even if you
Yeah,
don't win, that doesn't mean that you should like stop and give up. Like, that's how we learn and grow.
there it is. Yep. And it's like you said, you may not know what a person's cosplay is, but that can spark the conversation of what they are, a new fandom. You might spark the interest of someone else wanting to cosplay now the same genre,
Yeah. And
which
it's
that
really
actually
exciting.
happened.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. I just meant that that actually happened. I saw someone's cosplay and I thought it was amazing. The wig, the outfit, all of it. But I didn't know what they were from. And I felt bad because it's like, how do I approach them without, you know, offending them?
Right.
So I was blunt and said, I'm an idiot. I honestly don't know who you are, but it is amazing. And that's when, please don't laugh, anyone. It was Spy Family. And of course, she was Yuri. But I didn't know that at the time. So, but because of that, it sparked me to literally watch the entire anime.
It's a good anime.
Yes, it is.
It's
Lloyd is definitely fun.
Oh yeah. I think Yuri is definitely my favorite. I like Anya, but Yuri is definitely my favorite. I
Oh
just
yeah.
think she's just like so clumsy, and she doesn't know how to cook, but then within seconds she's just like a different person. And I'm not gonna like say anything else because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't watched it, but like, it's cool to see the flip flop.
I think the easiest way to say it is she has many flaws in the reality of a normal persona, but when her abilities are actually needed, they are high tier.
They're they're right up there. They're
Yeah.
awesome.
Like her ability to play tennis.
And honestly, I think that we can kind of, and maybe I'm being cheesy here, but I think that's kind of like how people are in real life too. We could totally be like that. Like, out in normal life, we're awkward, we're shy, but like, when you dress up and you cosplay, you feel like you're up there. You feel like you're top tier. Like, I am this character and I'm awesome. And maybe I don't feel that way in my normal self, and that's why we dress up. That's why I do it, because I'm like, normal me, but like, one year I dressed up as the Predator. I felt so cool. You ever dressed up as the Predator?
Yes, I have.
It is a cool feeling of being like, I'm awesome.
And the looks you get when you're turning sideways, and also you just get that
And you just
when
like
you have the helmet
turn.
on. It's just that feeling.
I
Yep.
it There is this level of power that you feel when you are dressed up as the Predator.
Pretty much with anything with a mask on top of that.
It's
If
true.
anything, I don't know if it's been coined yet out there on the internet, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's the Batman syndrome. You know,
Yeah, I
as
get that.
ourselves, we're Bruce Wayne, but when we put the mask on, we are ourselves. We're Batman, the true self. Just comes out our confidence and everything else that we relay.
Yeah. It's just like
Now,
you feel so much cooler when you put the mask on. You're like, this must be how Batman feels.
yep,
This must be how he feels.
the only difference is we don't get a raspy voice.
I mean, not with that attitude.
Love it. I love it. Great response. Like-minded
That's
too. I really love that.
that's a lot of my responses for like, oh well, we can't do that, and I'm like, yeah, not with that attitude. Most of the time, it's for like very realistic things, like we can't fly. Not with that attitude. We are not gonna make it there in 5 minutes. Not with that attitude. It's like a cross state. Very unrealistic things, and I'm like, yeah, not with that attitude.
Hey, it's a good thing though, because you know what? That's that confidence boosting out right there to go ahead and continue on something that you actually want.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it definitely, even if it's not realistic, it at the bare minimum, it makes them smile, and I'm okay with that. That's something I very much bring that brings me joy is making other people laugh or smile.
definitely. Humor is definitely needed, especially nowadays.
Oh, I know. I try to
We're
stay
too
away from
busy.
it.
Well, I mean, we're just too busy with life in general, where you have to have a job and you don't get to enjoy yourself anymore. You know, we work, we pay bills, and then we sleep. Where's
Yeah,
that me time? Where's that? Hey, I want to hang out with my friends, or let's go to the beach. And you know that vacation we talked about 3 years ago? I think we can do it in 28 years now.
yeah. It's about 28 years we'll be able to like go to Disneyland dressed up like we want to be.
Exactly. So don't lose that innocence. Try to go ahead and find time for yourself, definitely. Make a
Yeah,
smile, make a joke, do something, and be happy.
don't neglect that inner child.
Exactly. So, what is your next con coming up?
I don't know. I try not to. I like to go to as many as I can, but being young and poor, you can only go to so many. My pro. I think that there was one coming up in Traverse City soon. Another one. I might have already missed it. If not, I will be at the next Traverse City Con, and then hopefully the one in Grand Rapids, because I like that one. It's a little bit bigger. I've never been to any of the bigger cons, and I want to, but I'm also still very intimidated. There's just so much to see that I'm like, oh man, I don't think I'm gonna have the time, or I don't think I'm gonna have the money to like go to those ones because I I can't like look at something and be like, oh that's nice, and then not buy it.
I
I have no
understand
self
that very
restraint.
well.
I have
I
no self
really know how
restraint.
that. You end up learning a little bit of self restraint. One good thing to remember is no one can take away a memory, and a memory does not cost a thing.
That's true.
So,
And also sorry, go
no,
ahead.
sorry, regardless if whether or not people see it online or it's not a, oh, well, if there's no picture, then it didn't happen. They can think whatever they want. As long as you know you experienced it, it's right there, it's never gone. And sometimes those are worth it.
Yeah. And also that daunting thought of like, where am I gonna put this when I get home?
Yep, I brought a little bit too much artwork. My wall is full. Where's next? Oh, that's right. Just look up.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I have an entire ceiling.
Yep. Oh, in the back of the door, on the
All
front of the door.
those all those plushies, I'll just put them in a pile like a dragon. I'll sleep on
There
them
you
like
go.
a dragon.
And when you
It's my
can't go
hoard.
in, and when you can't sleep on them, you just create one of those nets in the corner and toss them in there. Just have them all facing out, so that way whoever comes in to visit sees all these eyes just looking right at them.
For anybody thinking about getting the net with the hooks, do not use the sticky hooks because they will not hold that net up. I have learned the hard way moving. I'm like, yep, there's still half of it still hanging down, and all my animals are sprawled all over the bed. I'm like, oh man, I've wasted 2 hooks trying to get it to work, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to actually put a nail in the wall, aren't I? Man.
Yeah, one of the big flaws about moving around. If you put it in once, it stays. If you're going to be there for a while, no problem. But no, if you're going to do it right.
Yeah, don't cut corners.
No.
Or do. Sometimes it works. I've
Okay,
I've
touche.
I've learned that sometimes it works, but like you gotta be willing to accept that sometimes it's not gonna work. I have a hard time with that with my projects. Is like if it doesn't work immediately, I'm like, this is terrible. I've failed. I'm so angry at myself. But I'm learning to work around that because like sometimes, a lot of times, you gotta trust the process. You gotta trust it. Like even if it doesn't look great immediately, just keep working at it because eventually it will get there. Or scrap it all and start over if you have the time and money and effort and will. I don't have that, so I'm like, I have to make this work. I have to make it work.
I hear that. Recently, someone posted on Facebook, and I can't remember completely. I can visually see it and how it's supposed to mean, but your success is the first of many failures.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't realize that. And it's like you said earlier, you learn from your failures. You know what not to do,
Yeah.
and you grow from that. That's a good thing. Such in life, cosplay, and anything else.
There's a sign outside my town. I'm not gonna say the town, but there's it's like it's not a failure, it's a lesson. There's no such thing as failures, just lessons.
I like that.
I do too. And I think that's pretty accurate. Like it's not you're not failing if you're learning from it.
This
Because
is true.
each time you mess up, quotation, is like it's just you now knowing what not to do next time. Or try it a little bit different. Make it a little
Agreed.
bit brighter. Make it a little bit darker. Swirls? No swirls. So on.
And if
And
swirls
that's
don't work, do a little bit of a chevron.
yeah, there's literally it's you just gotta keep trying. You gotta keep playing with it. And you gotta be patient, because sometimes it isn't gonna work, and that's okay. And most of the time, nobody's gonna know anyway. Nobody but you.
Yep. All they'll
That's
see is the success.
they're like, wow, that looks so good. And you're like, thanks. They have no idea that these seams are ripping, but it's alright. They can't see that it's slowly falling apart around me, but it's alright. They think it looks good and that's all that matters.
Oh, don't I know that feeling? My prop
You're,
that I had at one of the cons, the handle on the inside of it broke.
oh no.
So I'm stretching my hand out to keep it in one place. And they're just looking at it and go, oh, that's amazing.
And you're like,
They don't,
yeah.
except for the last 4 hours that I've literally held my hand out and not dropped it once yet to go ahead and rest it. So yeah, that's,
You're like, it's absolutely amazing. My hand is cramping.
yep. Which turned out to be a very funny story because I met someone in the parking lot taking it out to my car. They literally jumped out from the car, or I should say, in between cars, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're Ash. So am I. We're just two different fandoms. I gotta get a picture."
And you're like, ah, so close. So close to
Yep.
getting a break.
But anyone who knows, when someone asks that, what do?
We take a picture. You're like,
Yep.
you got it.
Yep. And he ended up being on the show. He's an awesome guy. So hey, it worked out on so many levels.
And
Plus, I got it fixed. Like,
it's little things like that that definitely make people like their day. Just that
oh yeah,
little like, and I'm not saying that like you have to take pictures with people, because of course there are boundaries. You gotta be able, and you gotta be okay with yourself to express those boundaries as well. But like new cosplayers, beginner cosplayers, like just being nice to them. I'm not saying you have to take pictures with them. You don't have to hug them. You don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with. But just being friendly and nice to them is just such a big it's very new. It's very big to like people who are still like timid and still learning their way. And it's important that we like show them like, "Oh yeah, it's okay." Like I know you feel self-conscious because your paint may not be as clean, but you're getting there. I'm seeing that you're putting in that effort to get there. And
Mhm.
it looks really good. Encourage them to keep being better, because it might not be clean this time, but next time they'll learn from that and it'll be pristine. And there's such a level of healthiness from people who want to help each other.
Oh, of course, definitely.
And honestly, I don't understand what you gain from not doing that. Like I I don't understand what you would gain from being mean to people, especially people who are still learning, still finding their way. I don't see it, but I'm also not one of those people, so I don't understand the mindset.
Yeah, it's a shame when people do that. It really is. But sadly, it is still out there at times. But who knows what they're thinking or what they want? But
Maybe they're just having a bad day.
exactly, and you can't fault them for that because you don't know.
Right.
So
But it's nice when you have that feeling that you're like, I just made this whole person's day.
agreed.
And when
What
they
would
compliment your costume, you're like, yeah, they just made my whole day.
what would you say one of your favorite experiences at a con is?
Um, oh man, there's so many. Uh, I would probably, oh, I'd have to think for a minute. I think one of my favorite experiences was I was helping um a stand at a convention in Grand Rapids one year, and
Okay.
I was a mushroom fairy. I had this
Oh,
inky cap mushroom that I had made, and I had my wings. They weren't as cool as I make them now. I was still in the learning phase, and so they were kind of tucked down so you couldn't really see them. And this little itty bitty girl came running up out of nowhere and hugged my legs. Like, she is so tiny, and she's like, "A fairy? You're my favorite. You're my favorite. Oh, she's a fairy. And she just kept saying, "You're my favorite." And her mom just kind of came up and she was just kind of sheepishly laughing. And I'm like, it's okay. That's why I dress up like this. Not for kids specifically, but to bring that magic, to bring joy to other people. That's why I love it so much, is because I love seeing their smile on their faces. And that's just something about that just made my entire day. And I was just glowing. I was just like, oh my god, this kid is so cute. She is just the most adorable, precious thing.
now because of that glow that you got from there, I'm assuming you probably got right into character and started talking to her as a fairy.
I did.
Yep.
And it's because of that little girl that I have started carrying little trinkets with me. Nothing nothing too small, but I love carrying little plant hair clips that you see
Okay.
around, and I'll give them, I'll pass out little trinkets just to, because I love seeing they're like, oh my god, I love your costume, and then their face goes when they get a little gift because they didn't expect it. It's it makes it all the more worth it.
It is true. And it doesn't matter if it's a kid who's getting a gift either. A lot of us adults like that too. That
Oh,
sudden surprise, it's like, I
I
get a
didn't expect
mushroom.
this.
Oh, it's a little mushroom or a skateboard, or one of my favorites, an All Might bracelet.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I mean, bracelet was one thing, but when I found out there was All Might, I was like, oh yes, Christopher Sabat have to go ahead and actually, represent. Awesome guy.
That is the most amazing. That is amazing.
And they made it themselves, which was really cool.
Yeah, handmade gifts are always like any kind of trinket is always so amazing, but it's when you find out that they're like, "Oh, you made this? You took time and then you thought that I was worth this gift that you put time and effort into?" It's just no better feeling,
It's
especially
a
when
whole
you're
nother level.
receiving them or when
Yep.
you're trading them. That's always fun. You're like, "Oh, I have a
Haven't done
trinket
that
for
yet.
you." And they're like, "Oh, I have a trinket for you." And they both you guys just get really excited and you just exchange them. That's how you really feel like fairies. You're trading trinkets.
Never thought about that right there. Fairies having trinkets to do that. That's cool.
I do go to the Renaissance Fair every once in a while, so it kind of like I see it. I see it happen, and I'm like, I want to do that too. That's fun.
I have finally gone to my first. It was a small one, but nonetheless, and it was definitely fun.
Was it um
Very, very small. So it
like I
was over
said,
by where I lived, and literally in the park, it just popped up. I was like, "What's going
that's
on here?" And that's oh, it's a Ren festival that they do every year for the past few years. It's like,
how have I
oh,
never heard of this?
exactly.
I wish
But
we had something like that around here. I would love to do that. I have to
oh,
travel a ways for it.
yeah, I hear that. That's the main reason why I've not done it. So having this one pop up was kind of cool. So I got to see some of the vendors of a different style rather than Comic Cons. I got to see the history museum for weaponry. So they dressed up as different characters from different eras, and
That's
was
awesome.
and they got to talk about their armor, their weapons, their history, like the gladiators. So gladiators have different, styles right there. And he was dressed up as a Murmillo. For anyone who's
Hmm.
familiar, if you're not, that's fine. But he would then talk about like the weapon of choice for the Murmillo with, the armor, the style, and he got into all this detail. It was
Hmm.
really cool.
That's
So,
awesome.
but unfortunately, I missed the day after because the second day is when all the people that were going to do the sword fights and displays were going to be there. So I missed that element, but it's
Ah,
okay.
darn.
I went to a con instead, and it was
Well,
worth it. So,
that's okay. As long as you still had like a great time, that's all that matters.
oh yeah. But I forgot that the one out in Holly was going on, and maybe before it completely closes, I might make it out there one weekend. But yeah, it all depends. Like you said, we kind of are broke people right now, so we have to make good decisions.
Yeah, and I can tell you, as somebody who's been to the Renaissance Fair, you do not make a lot of good financial decisions.
No,
There's too
turkey
many,
leg
too many
here,
cool things.
leather here, trinkets here. Yeah, I can
Armor?
see a lot of things. Yeah, armor. Yep, I wouldn't do it. I would be in so much trouble there.
Oh my god, I know it. You don't go without spending a lot of money, unfortunately.
Unless you go with friends and you watch them spend the money, so it's kind of like vicariously spending money, but they're the ones paying.
You're like, thank you for spending all that money so that I didn't have to.
Exactly.
Even if
Even
they're
if
not
it's not
spending it
the
on you.
yeah, exactly.
You're just like, thank you for spending the money so that I don't have to feel like I need to spend money.
Yep, you
I
get
can
that
live
same
I
thing.
can live out my impulses through you.
Exactly. So since you go to the Renaissance festivals as well, how would you compare the two difference and
They
compare it to
are
how it's similar?
they are super different. I think the only similarity is that they have a lot of vendors. And sometimes the vendors sell things that are kind of like Pokemon-ish or like some sort of comic things, whatever's like really hot in at the time. And they're just very, very different. I mean, they're obviously like marketing from two different timelines. Like one's very present, Marvel, DC, anime, kids shows,
Okay.
adult shows, all of it. Whereas the Renaissance Fair is like all fantasy, DC, or wow, not DC, D&D. My bad.
Are
Like
you good?
actual historical things. And it's just like all I want to say it's like two sides of the same coin because you both have the fantasy element, but they're two totally different kinds of fantasy. And
Okay.
it's definitely all about the time periods. But it's
So
very they have a lot of similarities in a sense of like vendors, like they're trying to sell you things and they're all very expensive but handmade and you're like, I want all of these and I can't afford any of them. And that's very, very relatable to both cons for me and the Renaissance Fair. I'm like, but I do think in a massive difference I mean, they obviously have a costume contest, both in the Renaissance and the Comic-Con. I've never competed in a Renaissance fair, so I don't know how that's different.
Okay.
But they have a lot of, at least the one that I've been to the one in Holly. I know that they have like little free amusements. Like they have a mermaid that you can go see. Um, they have the Three Wenches where they just get really drunk and do comedy, and that's super fun to watch. So they have like entertainment that's like you can go watch jousting that they don't have at the Comic-Con. At least
Okay.
not at the big. I've never really been to the bigger con, so I don't know if they have entertainment like that. But from the little cons that I've been to, they don't have anything like that. So it's very like, wow, I really love Comic-Con. Whoa, Renaissance Fair, totally different, but still love it.
So far, of what I've seen, they haven't had anything like that entertainment wise on that level. Now, they have had some Comic Cons where uh, a company or a group will do demonstrations and they'll have them in a special area. There was one that had a wrestling ring set up where they did wrestling with cosplayers.
That's
So
awesome.
they dressed up as different cosplay characters and they did wrestling. So,
That's
but
amazing.
but it's not that often, you know.
Yeah, that's too bad because that would be so fun. I mean, I
It
guess
would
I
be
could see
fun.
somebody getting hurt, but that seems like it would be really fun.
I think they're the actual wrestlers though, but they're cosplaying.
That's awesome.
But I
That would
did
be
see
so fun to watch.
it was because I saw a clip of it online because I didn't know that was a thing. They did the ending for Has Been Hotel.
No.
Yep, so they did the fight between Lucifer, Adam, Charlie was in there, and of course, how did it end? Someone dressed up as Nifty coming up behind and literally looking out at the crowd with a pair of scissors going, stab, 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 stab.
That's
So,
pretty that's pretty on brand.
yeah, but I mean, hey, you're at a Comic Con, you're wrestling, you're doing both together, you're just entertaining the crowd and having a good time doing it.
And I
Wink,
think
wink,
that's definitely what they're all about is having a good time.
definitely. Like right now, I know a cosplayer who is deciding to go ahead and pursue his career in wrestling right now. I told him, and now I get to say it here on video as well. If he needs a jobber and he gets a ring at a con and he wants someone to get in there to go ahead and showcase how, you know, his wrestling abilities, I volunteer to be tribute.
I will also wrestle. I will not do well, but I will wrestle. If he needs that motivation or that like wrestling partner, I'll be like, I'll try my best. Can't promise you anything, but I'll try.
You see, you heard it here. You got two people right here, both willing. Me, I've taken lumps many different times. You can still see a couple right here. So I am willing to take the nightfall. Yeah,
Ah, nice.
he knows exactly what it is because it's his finisher or signature, yet to be determined. So if he is watching this at all, or anyone who knows him wants to tag him into this right here, wink, wink.
It's copyrighted, so don't anybody else steal that. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's actually
definitely.
copyrighted, but like, don't steal it. That's not nice.
Knowing him, it probably already is. If it's not, I apologize, big time. But
Don't steal
yeah,
it. That's not cool.
no, definitely not. Theft is not good. Not unless you're stealing the heart of someone else, and then at that point, hey, it's all good.
That's true.
Me, I'm a lousy thief.
Same. Here to steal those hearts, man.
If I could even do that, so far, no luck.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. I've kind of learned to go ahead and live with it.
We live and we learn.
That we do. And truth of that right there is like you said from the beginning to how you are now with making wings for cosplays. You sent off a couple different photos that put a nice little reel together. Let's go ahead and
Yeah,
showcase those. I do like those.
thank you. That's my Marble Hornets costume.
That I thought was really intricate there, that style. Like a small
Yeah,
set on top of it right there with the other set.
that one was tricky to figure out, let me tell you. It was definitely tricky, and I work in a factory, so I work with a lot of maintenance people. And figuring out the mechanics of things is a little bit easier when you've got somebody who knows a little bit about mechanics to like be like, oh well, we could do this. This could work. And I was just like working with plexiglass because I was just like, I need something that's sturdy and flexible because I've always used cellophane,
Okay.
and cellophane has been very good to me. I just realized that I don't have the patience for working with wire. And so I was just like, I want to try working with plexiglass. I've seen things on Pinterest where people have like plexiglass wings. So I was going to give that a try. And I was just like, how am I going to make this smaller set on top? Because I want 3 sets, but I don't want people to see that I have 3 sets. And so I just took a really thin piece of plexiglass, just a really thin one, and I attached the top set to the bottom sets, and then I kind of tied it around with the top of my top. As you could, if you were to like look closely, you could see that it's like wrapped around the wings,
Okay.
but the thin plexiglass is clear, so you can't, without like really looking, you can't instantly see it. So it kind of gives that illusion.
Nice. That works really well. Maybe in the
Now
near future.
it's not gonna stand up by itself. You have
Yeah.
to like wear a choker or something to like hold it up. But at least it like kind of flexes with your back and it's mostly invisible.
That's brilliant. Mobility with creativity together at the same time. Genius.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite things is like I find that I'm very interested in mechanics of like trying to figure out how to make things move, how to articulate things. My current obsession right now, uh, I'm really glad that I finally get to talk to another cosplayer and get to talk about it,
Okay.
is man, now I can't think of the name. The spider people. They're half spider, half person.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have the bottom half of a spider and the top half of a human. So it's
Yes.
like a centaur. And I'm like, I want to figure out how I'm going to get the legs to move. I want to do that. And I want to have the legs move so that I can move with it. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? How
I
am I
might
going to
actually have an idea.
how am I going to figure this out? Because I've got 8 legs and I got to figure out how I'm going to make them all move. And I don't have the skills to like program, and I don't have the knowledge to use like hydraulics or air
Yeah, me
pressure.
too.
And I just thought, what about wind up toys? Old timey wind up toys.
Could. Definitely could. I have a different thought, but I'll mention that afterwards so that way no one else gets ideas. Oh, did we freeze? Looks like we're having just a small little technical difficulties right now. Um, I'm hoping you can still hear me. If need be, if you have to, you can go ahead and sign off and then sign back in. So while we're waiting right now, um, of course, anyone out there, if you're interested in being on the show, definitely go ahead and reach out to me. And don't forget, like and subscribe. You know, more people out there want to go ahead and have a voice to be able to talk and showcase what they've done, learned, and what they're coming up with. More than willing to have you on here. So let's go ahead and see. They come back here in a moment. And my apologies, everyone. But such is life. Technical doesn't always work. You know, technology is fun and fickle at times. But with that, we learn, we grow. Like earlier in the episode, how we were talking about that, every little failure, we go ahead and learn from it, and then soon have a success. But uh, who knows in life? That's why I take every day as best as you can. So And if you have any questions from this episode or any other episode that you've seen, feel free to comment below. We're on TikTok at times for small little clips, but YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook, obviously, of course. But yeah, reach out. Let us know. Comment. Did you like? Did you not? Do you have a question? Did you have a suggestion? Anything, you know? And well, we don't. Oh, here we go. And
And my phone just went whoop and just powered down. I was like, no, my phone. I'm so sorry about that.
no, you're okay. Like I
It just,
mentioned to everyone in between, that technical difficulties happen, and we can't always expect everything to go perfect.
yeah. I seem to have that kind of luck lately. But
I definitely know the feeling.
yeah.
But I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but I have an idea for you, but I'll say it afterwards, so that way no one else gets the same idea.
Honestly, I am not like, if you want to keep it secret, that's totally all right, and I won't share it with anybody. But for my own ideas, I don't mind telling people
Oh,
because
that being the case.
I am very like, I don't like gatekeeping information.
Oh, I
If
completely
I can think
understand.
of anything to make people who want to learn struggle less, I will absolutely be like, yeah, this is what I did. It might work for you. Might not work for you. It worked for me. Just
In
because
most cases,
I don't like gatekeeping information. But if like that's not a diss against you. I
no,
totally
you're good.
understand. Like you put in that effort,
Oh
you
no,
don't owe anybody information.
no, it
So like,
wasn't anything. It was just something that popped in my head. But because you were trying to figure it out, I figured to give you the information. Then afterwards, if you went ahead and posted it exactly how it was, then it's actually something for you because it's coming from you. You put it together.
right.
In my mind,
Okay.
it's just
An
it's just
idea.
an idea. Yeah. So I have no
Okay.
fruition of any sort. But if you don't mind, then I'll tell you right here.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
I'm always open to new stuff.
So with the legs, you could go ahead and attach PVC piping inside the legs and then
Mm-hmm.
put a frame on each one. So when you're walking, it's actually attached to your legs itself, one particular one, but each one is attached on its own right. So if your left leg moves forward, the right hand side, two of them move. And then when your right leg moves forward, then the other side. So as you take every step, because it's attached to your legs, like a puppet, each one's going in accordance with that movement of your leg.
Okay, yeah, I will definitely. I'd have to draw it out because I have to sketch it out to see how, for my brain to understand how it works. But that seems like it would be a really good. Yeah, I would like to sketch that out and try that and see if that would work for me.
You know what the
And
best part is?
probably, hmm,
No motors.
yeah, that's true.
No
That's
motors,
nice.
no soldering, no nothing like that. This
No
is more along
gears,
my, yeah, this is more like old school Jim Henson style movement because it's all
puppeteering.
exactly, except you're the puppeteer wearing the puppet.
That sounds like it would be very helpful and significantly easier than trying to be like, okay, now how am I gonna get gears in plus size?
Exactly.
How am
Which
I going to attach these to each leg and make them all move on their own?
sadly, I've actually gone through that with trying to figure out how to move a couple arms. Did not work out very well. It was way too expensive.
Thank God for
But
YouTube being there and being people who like are like, oh yeah, I'm making this project. This is what I did. This is how I did it, and this is the result. Like, and they show you the step by step, and you're like, I can do that. I cannot do that. I found out that like I don't have the patience to put in all the effort that they do. So I'm like, why didn't it work? Or I'm like, oh, it's good enough for me. I like it. That's enough.
yep,
And I'm like, why didn't it work exactly the way that they did it?
exactly. I've seen a few different ones on there where people put together a cosplay idea. I've seen others put just props in general, And this one guy, his prop making is only out of cardboard. And it's so intricate and how detailed and amazing it looks afterwards. But when you watch him put it together, you think to yourself, do I
I have no
truly
patience for
have to
that.
take exactly?
I have no patience for that. It's
But it
so
looks
good
amazing.
and so detailed. You just want the product without putting in the time and patience for it. You're just like, ah, why
Or
can't
you
I
think
do that? You
or you
can. You
try
just
thinking if you go, can I skip steps and
can I
somehow still make
skip
it look
this
okay?
step? Sometimes you can.
True.
Not always. Not always. And that's gonna be the hardest pill to swallow, so to
Yeah.
speak. It's just like you can't always cut corners. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can get away with it, but you also have to be willing to accept the consequences of those corners being cut. Like, it's gonna make it look a little wonky. It's not gonna sit just right if you skip this nail, or if you don't go over that last coat of paint. It's not gonna look that smooth. You have to be patient with it. You can't
True.
just you you have to be willing to, like, are you okay with how it's gonna look if you don't take the time to do it right the first time? Are you okay with dealing with the consequences of it not being perfect?
Yep. Which is the beauty of cosplay. It doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't. As
So,
long as it's perfect to you, or, well, as long as you think it's perfect enough for other people, then that's all that matters. Because in my toxic mind, I'm like, it'll never be perfect. I could work on this forever, and I still have kinks I gotta work out. But at some point, you gotta step back and be like, it's good. It looks
mhm.
good. And appreciate the effort that you put into it. Like, yeah, maybe it's not perfect, but I still really love it. And I still think it looks really good.
And
Appreciate
sometimes the easy
yourself.
one. Exactly. And sometimes
Appreciate yourself and your effort.
and sometimes those easy cosplays that you put together that are not perfect, they still get recognized big time. Because people know exactly what it is, and there's that smile. You're still putting on someone else's face. They're putting it on yours at the same time because I did that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I did do that.
now with your fairy style, since that right there really got into your personality of cosplaying, here's a nice one for you. Taking one of your fairy outfits, your cosplays, okay?
Hmm.
What would you love to go ahead and do? Like, where would you want a fantasy photo shoot? Anywhere in the world?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because there's so
I
many different styles, and because of that, there's so many places in the world where it could look magical on its own level.
Absolutely. I think with my style, it typically leans more towards like a forest style, whereas I would think maybe next to like a little creek in like a forest. That would be
Okay.
like my ideal. Wildflowers wherever I don't know. It would have to be somewhere with a lot of sun because I think one of my big things with all my wings that I have made, the thing that like makes my brain like light up when it comes to
Mhm.
making these is the ability to see colors through the wings. I want
Oh, okay.
when you look through the wings, I want to see color on the ground. And I would want that displayed in the pictures too. I would want you to be able to see that rainbow effect on the ground. Because
Nice.
I'd want to see that. I'd be like, "Oh, look at that. That's so pretty."
Definitely. I like that. An open canopy around the trees by a babbling brook.
Yeah, something like
Ireland.
that. I
Yeah.
I am part Irish, so that's on
Oh.
par for me. That makes sense.
Well, there you go. A visit to the country in which you're a part of. At the same time, your personality coincides with it. You get a little bit of everything all together, and you just have a whole week of it or more, and enjoy.
That would be really fun. That would be so beautiful to do.
So there you go. Now you have something on your bucket list.
Oh man, I might have to call the girls after this. I'll be like, guys, you're never gonna believe what we're gonna go do.
See,
You
there
don't
you
know
go.
that we're doing it, but we're gonna do it. Start saving
Definitely.
right now. We're going.
It would definitely be awesome, especially to go ahead and see the final product of that, because in my mind I can see it and just the colors, the style to it all together. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Absolutely. I would definitely make a new set of wings because something about my brain doesn't like reusing costumes, even though they're perfectly fine and they're really great. My
Hmm.
brain's like, no, 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 no. They've already seen that. Now you've got to make something new. You've got to make something that they haven't seen because you don't want that one rando from last year to look at you and be like, hey, weren't you that last year? And I'm like, no, this is a whole new costume, obviously. Can't have that. Can't have that kind of situation. So I'm like, gotta make something new. You don't have to do that, but that's just my brain. That's just like, gotta have something new every year.
Fair enough.
Every year, there's gotta be something. It's gotta be something new. They can't have seen it before.
If that's what you prefer, then you know what? There's absolutely no judging because everyone's different. You
Yeah,
know, some like to wear the same one over and over. Others like brand new ones and retire the previous one after a really good con or however you want to look at it,
I think
which is
most.
absolutely acceptable.
Yeah, I think most of my thought process is not so much like I can't reuse it. I can. I mean, I know that's what I just said, but I think a lot of it is more of like I can do better.
Okay.
This looks so good. I loved the way that those wings turned out. I want to do better. I want to do more. I want to go bigger. That's why I was saying I think I need a new set. I would have to do something very extravagant. If I'm going out of my way to go to Ireland, I would want something very extravagant and very big to fit to make it worth the photo shoot.
Good point. Yeah.
And that's
That's
kind of
something
a
that'd be
drive
special to you.
that's kind of a drive that I would like to pass on to new cosplayers. It's not like you can reuse it, but also don't settle. You can do better. You can do more if you want to. Like there's nothing wrong with what you've done, but you can. You can be more extravagant if you want to be. You're totally capable of that. And as long as you're happy with the results, I'm happy with the results. Not that my opinion matters because I'm just some stranger on the internet, but if you're happy, I'm happy.
So I'm just kind of curious. Are you actually a fairy? Because you've been reading my mind throughout this episode.
No, I'm just really into psychology.
Apparently, because that was actually going to be one of my closing questions to you. There's what would you pass on to any younger cosplayers willing to go ahead and get into or wanting to get into cosplay? And you literally already went ahead and answered it as soon as it popped in my head.
Absolutely. My thing is
Love
you
it.
can. You can.
Definitely.
Not with that attitude. It's always a good one. Not with you you can do it if you have the attitude. There you go. That's the ending statement I'm going to leave with. You can do it with that attitude.
Definitely well said. All right. Well, we are definitely coming close to the end of the episode. Did you have any other final thoughts that you would love to go ahead and cascade on to everyone else?
I do not think so. Um yeah, I don't have any.
No?
Nope,
Okay.
I think I've pretty much laid it all out there for me. And my brain's like, yeah. Now it's just in a really good mood.
No, I would have to agree. I mean, you have covered so many points that are just absolutely wonderful from your experiences in cosplay to, like you said, the psychological, elements of it. Just be positive, have fun, be yourself. Definitely. And never
Absolutely be yourself. Or
and never
don't
lose
if
that
you don't
innocence.
want to be.
Oh,
That's the point of
true.
cosplaying. That's the point of cosplaying is that you're not being yourself.
Or maybe even a little bit you are.
You are being a piece of yourself.
Yeah,
Every costume that you do is a piece of you. So even if you're not being you, you're still being you by being somebody else.
definitely.
And
I like that.
appreciate yourself. Always appreciate yourself and what you've done and
Yes.
accomplished.
And don't lose that innocence.
Never lose it.
No.
The world will
It's
try, but you got this.
definitely. And if you feel like you're starting to lose it, Go to a con. Go to a place where it makes you happy. Rekindle that. Look back. Thrive.
Go to
Oh,
the
you're
Renaissance Fair. And if you don't have the confidence to go to a con, post it online. Well, maybe not that. They're pretty brutal, actually.
true.
Post it to a Comic-Con community, to a cosplay community,
Yes.
because those guys are really friendly and healthy. Maybe not just like general online, but like cosplay communities. Those guys, they have tips, they have help, they'll like help you, and they'll compliment you. And if they
This
don't,
is very
ignore
true.
them.
Yeah. If they don't, then they're just in their own little niche. You know.
Yep. That's just a projection of how they feel about themselves.
I like that. But it is true. Well, thank you again. It was
Yeah,
an
thank you for
absolute.
having me.
Oh,
Sorry.
absolutely. No, not a problem. It was just pleasure meeting you and then having you on the show. Definitely, you have really brought a lot out that most people have probably been thinking for a while. And honestly, literally, someone who's in my head right there that's, hey, they're running the show for me. This is I think the second time this has happened recently. So either I'm really projecting what I want to say or there's hidden stuff behind me that's prompting what I'm supposed to talk about.
It's actually been there this whole time. I've been reading it behind your shoulder. You think I'm looking at you, but I've actually been like slowly looking behind you, and I'm like, that's what he's gonna say. I knew it.
That's where it is. My teleprompter's on the wrong side. Okay. Well, much appreciated again, and thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me and being patient with my sleep schedule. It's a wreck.
It's not a problem. Completely understandable because life literally hits us from every which way.
It sure does.
So true. And to
Well,
anyone else out there, thank you again for joining us for another episode. And of course, remember, if you can dream, believe, create. Good night, everyone.
good night.